In that TKO finish.
Alex Pereira conquered kickboxing, became a 2-division UFC champion, destroyed Ankalaev, and is considered one of the greatest light heavyweight fighters of all time. Today we look at the biological secrets that make him such a dangerous knockout artist, as he prepares to become the first 3-division UFC champion. At UFC 320, Alex Pereira reminded the world of the threat he poses on the feet by sending Magomed Ankalaev straight into the shadow realm. A devastating overhand right that sent him straight into an instinctual double leg attempt. That punch didn't just look heavy, it was heavy in a biological sense. Behind that knockout is a mix of kinetics, physiology, and years of adaptation that make Pereira built for dangerous knockout power. Specifically, his training has enabled him to have much higher bone density than the average person, specific muscle fiber types, and world-class technique to round it out. Let's further investigate these mechanisms. Pereira's years in kickboxing and MMA have subjected his bones, especially his limbs, to repeated impact stress. The human body is highly adaptable, and the skeletal system is no different. When stress is placed on the bones, a process called remodeling occurs, where bones will shape themselves over time to counteract the stress that is put on them. For example, a judo fighter would be expected to have a higher bone density in the legs than a karate fighter, due to the full body nature of the sport and the stress that certain throws can create. Studies have actually shown to support this idea, with publications indicating the strongest increase in bone mineral density coming from judo practitioners specifically. The mechanism responsible for remodeling is done by cells housed within the bones, named osteoblasts and osteoclasts. These cells work together to maintain optimal bone density. Specifically, the osteoblast will increase bone density by adding calcium to the bones, while osteoclasts will break down the bone, releasing calcium into the bloodstream. Osteoblasts are activated by microfractures, basically tiny cracks in the bone that result from repeated stress. Therefore, Pereira likely has a higher activity of osteoblasts within his limbs, which lead him to have a higher bone density and deadlier striking power. This is because the force a fighter can generate follows a Young's modulus law. In short, higher density means greater stiffness and resistance to deformation. Denser bone basically acts like a hammer instead of a flexible rod. More energy is conserved in this way and is transferred through his strikes. To account for his explosive power and increased bone density, Pereira likely rigorously trains his muscles to make recruitment of his fast-twitch muscle fibers as quick as possible. These fibers, labeled type 2 muscle fibers, are responsible for quickly generating large amounts of force. While slow-twitch fibers handle marathons, fast-twitch fibers handle knockouts. They rely on quick anaerobic energy bursts, think phosphocreatine and glycolysis, to unleash power before fatigue even sets in. Over years of explosive training, Pereira's nervous system has adapted to recruit these fibers almost instantly. His brain doesn't just tell a few muscle cells to contract, it tells all of them at once. That's called motor unit synchronization, and when combined with rapid rate coding, in other words, how quickly those signals will fire, you get something which looks effortless, like in his flow state against Khalil Roundtree. So when Pereira throws, it's not just muscle strength, it's timing, coordination, and neural precision. Every fiber firing in perfect harmony to send a shockwave from the ground, through his body, and into his opponent. You can have all the muscle and bone density in the world, but without proper technique, you're not maximizing punching potential. Alex Pereira has a lifetime of kickboxing experience and has become so used to fighting that it has become second nature. His punches aren't just about raw power, they're about efficiency. That coordinated wave of energy ensures that almost no force is wasted. An example to demonstrate is how he arches his back when throwing the 12-6 elbows. He generates just that bit more force to make this look like it hurts as much as it does. The result is some of the most devastating punching power we've seen in recent years. Combat Athlete Physio has a really interesting video diving further into the mechanics of the punch that knocked Ankalaev down. There will be a link to that in the description. Pereira's rise in popularity is due to many factors, but primarily his devastating knockout power and one specific catchphrase.
Chama! 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 Chama!
He's mastered kickboxing technique and doesn't even let wrestlers get the chance to take him down. It'll be interesting to see just how much more he can accomplish in such a short UFC career. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed it or even learned something new, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to get notified when I next upload. Thank you so much and have an awesome day.